Let me start by asking you this. Have you ever felt like your life is shifting in ways you can't fully explain? Like something beneath the surface is stirring, pulling you toward a version of yourself you've only glimpsed in fleeting moments? If you're watching this, chances are you're already on a spiritual path, consciously or unconsciously. But what if I told you there are unmistakable signs, some of them subtle, others life-altering, that reveal you're not just growing spiritually, but accelerating rapidly into higher vibrational states? These signs, when recognized, can change the way you see your life entirely. Today we're going to dive deep into these transformational markers and how to recognize when you're on the fast track, as well as how to recognize when you're on the fast track. The first and perhaps most surprising sign of rapid vibrational growth is that your old life starts falling apart. This one can feel like a punch in the gut at first. Relationships that felt stable may suddenly feel strained or dissolve altogether. Career paths you were so aligned with may start to feel empty, even suffocating. Old habits or hobbies that once brought you joy may now feel meaningless. It's as if the foundation of your life is crumbling beneath you. And here's the paradox: this isn't a sign that something is going wrong. It's a sign that something is going right. You see, vibrational growth doesn't just add layers to your life. It burns away everything that no longer aligns with your higher frequency. It's not a polite process. It's messy, raw, and often uncomfortable. But there's a profound wisdom in this destruction. Imagine you're a sculptor, carving a masterpiece from a block of marble. The pieces that fall away are not mistakes, they're necessary. They're the excess, the parts that no longer serve the vision of what's emerging. The same is true for your life. As your vibration rises, the people, situations, and beliefs that no longer resonate with your frequency will naturally fall away. It's not personal, it's energetic.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But let me ask you this. When something or someone leaves your life, do you see it as a loss, or do you see it as space being created for something greater? This mindset shift is crucial. When you're on the fast track of vibrational growth, you'll find that life doesn't leave a vacuum for long. The old may fall away, but the new comes rushing in. New opportunities, new relationships, new levels of clarity and purpose, and new friends and family to celebrate and to greet you warmly. The key is to trust the process, even when it feels chaotic. Resistance only prolongs the discomfort. Surrender is what allows the transformation to take root. The second powerful sign is an amplified sensitivity to energy. This can manifest in many ways. You might find yourself feeling deeply affected by the emotions of others, even without them saying a word. Certain environments may suddenly feel overwhelming. Crowds, loud noises, or chaotic settings might leave you drained or anxious. On the flip side, you might also notice an increased sensitivity to beauty, joy, or peace. A simple sunset might move you to tears. Music might touch your soul in ways it never has before. Even the sound of silence might feel alive, with meaning. This heightened sensitivity can be both a blessing and a challenge. On one hand, it allows you to connect more deeply with the world around you. On the other, it can make you feel vulnerable, as if the boundaries between you and the world are dissolving. And in a way, they are. Vibrational growth is an expansion, a dissolving of the walls that separate you from life. But here's the secret. Sensitivity is not weakness, it's a superpower. The more attuned you are to energy, the more you can navigate life with precision and grace. You start to feel, almost instinctively, what aligns with your higher self and what does not. Trust this sensitivity. It's your internal compass guiding you toward your highest path. The third sign of vibrational acceleration is a profound shift in your perception of time. Have you ever noticed how time seems to behave differently when you're deeply present? Moments of joy or creativity seem to stretch endlessly, while mundane tasks or obligations seem to drag on forever. As your vibration rises, this phenomenon becomes even more pronounced. You might find yourself losing track of time altogether, not because you're so immersed in the now. The past and future start to feel less relevant, less solid. Instead, the present moment becomes your anchor, your portal to the infinite. This shift is no coincidence. Time as we experience it is not a fixed reality. It's a construct, a way of organizing our perception of events. But at higher vibrational states, this construct begins to loosen. You start to experience time not as something linear, but as something fluid, malleable. You realize that the only moment that truly exists is this one, and in this realization you unlock a profound truth. The more present you are, the more power you have. The present moment is where creation happens. It's where you access your highest wisdom, your deepest peace, your truest self. But let me ask you this. How often are you truly present? How often do you allow yourself to experience life fully without distraction or judgment? Presence is not just a practice, it's a vibrational state. And as you grow spiritually, you'll find that presence becomes your natural way of being. It's not something you have to force, it's something you relax into. The fourth and perhaps most beautiful sign of rapid vibrational growth is an overwhelming sense of interconnectedness. You begin to see the threads that weave all of life together. The boundary between you and others starts to blur. You feel the pain of the world as your own, but you also feel its joy, its beauty, its infinite potential. This isn't a concept or a belief. It's a felt experience, a knowing that goes beyond words. They all disappear. You look into the eyes of a stranger and see yourself. You walk through nature and feel the pulse of life in every leaf, every blade of grass, every gust of wind. This sense of oneness is not just a spiritual ideal, it's a vibrational reality. The higher your frequency, the more you resonate with the truth that we are all connected, all part of the same infinite field of energy and consciousness. This realization can be humbling, even overwhelming, but it's also liberating. You realize that you are never alone, that every action you take ripples out into the collective, that your growth is not just for you, but for the world. So let me leave you with this question. Are you willing to embrace these signs, even when they challenge you? Are you willing to trust the process, to surrender to the unfolding of your highest self? Because the truth is, vibrational growth is not just about reaching higher states. It's about becoming more of who you truly are. And the signs are here to guide you, to remind you that you're not just growing, you're transforming. You're stepping into the infinite potential of your being. If you've started noticing the profound shifts we talked about earlier, your old life falling away, your heightened sensitivity to energy, the fluid nature of time, and the deep sense of oneness, then you're already stepping into the fast lane of vibrational growth. But here's the thing. These signs are just the beginning. What most people don't realize is that as you grow vibrationally, it's not just your inner world that transforms. Your external reality begins to shift in seemingly magical ways. It's as if the universe starts rewriting the rules of the game just for you. Subtle at first, but undeniably powerful, this is where the invisible upgrades start to take over. Shortly after taking part in the Shiva formula, I began to notice how I was feeling differently, and I started to train differently. One of the most striking shifts you'll notice is how synchronicities become a regular part of your life. They stop feeling like random coincidences and start to feel like deliberate winks from the universe. You think of someone and they call you. You're wrestling with a decision and the perfect book falls into your hands. You glance at the clock and see repeating numbers. 11, 11, 2:22, 3:33. Over and over again, these moments are not mere accidents. They're signs that your energy is aligning with the natural flow of the universe. But let's go deeper. Why do synchronicities happen more frequently when you're on the fast track of vibrational growth? It's not just because you're paying more attention, it's because you're vibrating at a frequency that matches the rhythm of life itself. Think of it like tuning into a radio station. When your vibration is low, it's like static. You're out of sync with the signal. But as your vibration rises, you tune in more clearly. The universe isn't speaking louder, you're just finally able to hear it. It's fun. Now here's the practical wisdom in this. Synchronicities are feedback. They're the universe's way of saying, you're on the right track, keep going. But they're also invitations. When a synchronicity catches your attention, ask yourself, what is this moment asking of me? What door is opening here? Too often we notice these signs but don't act on them. Yet, the more you engage with synchronicities, the more they multiply. It's like the universe rewards your willingness to play along. And this leads us to another invisible upgrade, an almost magical ability to manifest your desires. While manifestation has become a buzzword, on the fast track of vibrational growth, it's no longer about creating vision boards or repeating affirmations. Those methods can work, but they're tools for beginners. When your vibration rises, manifestation becomes effortless. You don't need to force it because you're no longer trying to create from a place of lack. Instead, you're creating from alignment. Think about it. When you're in a high vibrational state, you're not focused on what's missing from your life. You're tuned into gratitude, presence, and abundance. And because your vibration is aligned with these higher frequencies, the external world begins to reflect them back to you. Opportunities show up without you chasing them. Relationships that nourish your soul appear seemingly out of nowhere. Solutions to problems reveal themselves without struggle. It's not magic, it's resonance. The universe is simply responding to the energy you're emitting. But let me ask you this. What are you emitting right now? What is the dominant vibration you're putting out into the world? Here's a truth most people overlook. You can't fake your vibration. You can say all the right affirmations, think all the right thoughts and still be vibrating at fear, doubt, or scarcity deep down. The universe doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to what you are. This is why inner work is so essential. The clearer and more aligned you are internally, the easier it becomes to create externally. Another invisible upgrade that comes with vibrational growth is a heightened sense of purpose. And this one can feel like both a blessing and a burden, especially at first. You might find yourself feeling an almost unbearable pull towards something greater. The job that once felt secure now feels stifling. The relationships that were comfortable now feel empty. Even your hobbies might start to feel trivial. And fascinated, it's as if your soul is calling you to step into a higher version of yourself, and it won't let you settle for less. This pull toward purpose can be disorienting because it often requires you to take risks, to step into the unknown, to let go of the familiar. But it's also exhilarating. When you're aligned with your purpose, you're not just living, you're thriving. Every action feels meaningful. Every moment feels alive. And here's the beautiful part. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing in the traditional sense. It's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. You could be a teacher, an artist, a gardener, or a parent. What matters is that you're pouring your highest vibration into whatever you do. When you live with purpose, even the smallest actions ripple out into the collective in ways you can't even imagine. But here's the catch. To fully step into your purpose, you have to let go of the need for certainty. Purpose is not a destination, it's a journey. It's not something you find, it's something you become. And as your vibration rises, you'll start to notice that your purpose evolves. What feels aligned today may shift tomorrow. This is not inconsistency, it's growth. The key is to trust the process, to follow the breadcrumbs the universe lays out for you, even when the path doesn't make sense to your mind. Finally, one of the most profound upgrades you'll experience as your vibration accelerates is a deep sense of inner peace, even in the midst of chaos. This doesn't mean life becomes perfect. Challenges will still arise. Emotions will still ebb and flow. But there's a part of you, deep within, that remains unshaken. It's as if you've tapped into an unmovable center, a wellspring of calm that exists beyond circumstances. This is the ultimate gift of vibrational growth, the ability to live in the world without being of the world. But let me ask you, what would your life look like if you lived from this place of unshakable peace? How would your relationships change? How would your choices shift? And perhaps most importantly, what would you stop fearing? Because when you're anchored in this inner peace, fear loses its grip. You realize that nothing can truly harm the essence of who you are. And in this realization, you find freedom. So, as you reflect on these invisible upgrades, synchronicities, effortless manifestation, heightened purpose, and unshakable peace, ask yourself, are you ready to embrace them fully? Are you ready to let go of resistance and step into the flow of life? Because the truth is, these upgrades are not something you earn. They're your birthright. They're the natural result. of aligning with the truth of who you are. And the more you embrace them, the more your life will begin to feel like a masterpiece unfolding in real time. As your vibrational growth accelerates, something extraordinary begins to happen. The boundaries of your reality start to dissolve. You no longer see life in the same way. What once felt solid, predictable, and confined by logic is now revealed to be fluid, infinite, and deeply mysterious. You realize that the world you perceive with your five senses is just the surface of a much deeper, multi-dimensional reality. And here's the mind-bending part. This new reality was always there. You're not discovering something external, you're awakening to something within you. Vibrational growth is, in essence, a quantum leap in consciousness, a shift that allows you to access realms of existence most people never even dream of. You might wonder, what does this actually look like? How do these hidden realms of consciousness reveal themselves? Let's break it down. One of the first ways you'll notice this shift is through your intuition. Suddenly, your inner guidance system becomes razor sharp. You just know things without needing proof or explanation. You might sense someone's energy before they even speak. You might feel a pull towards certain choices, even when they defy logic. You might even receive insights in the form of images, dreams, or flashes of understanding that feel like they're coming from somewhere beyond your mind. This heightened intuition isn't random, it's a direct result of your rising vibration. At higher frequencies, your connection to the universal field of consciousness becomes stronger. Think of it like tuning into a higher channel on the radio. The static of fear, doubt, and mental chatter fades away, and you start receiving a clear signal from the infinite intelligence that flows through all of existence. The more you trust this intuition, the more profound it becomes. And here's the key. Intuition doesn't operate on fear or ego. It speaks the language of love, expansion, and truth. So, when you receive intuitive guidance, ask yourself, does this feel expansive? Does this resonate with the deepest part of me? If the answer is yes, follow it without hesitation. Another way these hidden realms of consciousness reveal themselves is through your perception of energy. We've already touched on heightened sensitivity, but as your vibration continues to rise, this sensitivity evolves into something much deeper. You begin to see and feel energy in ways that defy explanation. You might notice subtle shifts in the atmosphere around you, an almost tangible presence in the air during moments of stillness or meditation. You might feel the energetic vibrations of nature more intensely, as if the trees, the wind, and even the earth itself are alive and communicating with you. You might even begin to sense the energetic signatures of people, places, and objects, as if everything carries its own unique frequency. This perception of energy is not imaginary or superficial, it's the foundation of reality itself. Quantum physics tells us that everything in the universe is made up of vibrating energy, and as your own vibration rises, you begin to perceive this truth directly. You start to understand that the world is not solid or separate, but interconnected and alive with energy. This realization changes the way you interact with life. You no longer feel like a passive observer of the world. You begin to see yourself as a co-creator, someone who can actively shape reality through your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. And this brings us to one of the most profound aspects of vibrational growth, the realization that reality itself is malleable. You start to see beyond the illusion of limitation. What once felt impossible now feels inevitable. You realize that the only limits you face are the ones you've accepted as real. This doesn't mean you can snap your fingers and make anything happen instantly, but it does mean you have far more power to create your reality than you've ever been taught. The key is not to control or force, but to align. When your vibration is aligned with what you desire, the universe responds effortlessly. It's not about trying harder, it's about being clearer. But let me ask you this: what are you creating with your vibration right now? Are you unconsciously manifesting fear, doubt, or resistance? Or are you intentionally aligning with love, abundance, and possibility? This is the essence of mastering vibrational growth, the ability to consciously choose your frequency in every moment. And the more you practice this, the more you'll notice that reality bends to meet your energy. The 10,000 hours had the ability to run the clocks every day. Perhaps the most awe-inspiring aspect of this quantum leap in consciousness is the access it gives you to higher states of awareness. At these levels, you begin to experience moments of profound stillness, where the mind quiets and you merge with the infinite. These are the moments where you feel one with everything, where time stops and you're overwhelmed by a sense of peace, love, and understanding that goes beyond words. Some might call this a spiritual awakening, others might call it enlightenment, but labels don't matter. What matters is the experience itself, the knowing that you are not separate from life, but an integral part of it. These glimpses of higher consciousness are not reserved for monks or mystics. They're available to anyone willing to raise their vibration and let go of the illusions that keep them trapped in lower states. The question is, are you willing to let go? Are you willing to release the fears, doubts, and attachments that keep you small? Because here's the truth: the only thing standing between you and these higher realms of consciousness is your own resistance. The moment you surrender, the moment you allow yourself to rise, the doors to these hidden realms swing wide open. So, what does all of this mean for your day-to-day life? It means that as your vibrational growth accelerates, you're no longer just living, you're awakening. You're stepping into a reality that is richer, deeper, and more alive than you ever imagined. You're no longer bound by the illusions of limitation or separation. You're free to explore the infinite potential of your being, to create a life that resonates with your highest truth, and to experience the profound beauty of existence in every moment. As your vibrational growth reaches new heights, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your transformation is no longer just about you. Your energy, your presence, and your very being start to ripple outward, touching the lives of others in ways you might not even realize. This is one of the most profound truths of vibrational growth. It's not a solitary journey. You naturally uplift the world around you. You become a beacon of light, a living reminder of what's possible when someone aligns with their highest self. But what does it mean to live as a beacon? And how does your vibrational growth transform others even without you saying a word? It starts with the simple yet powerful reality that energy is contagious. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt a shift in energy? Perhaps you've met someone whose presence made you feel at ease, inspired, or even energized, without them saying much at all. Or maybe you've encountered someone whose energy felt heavy, draining, or chaotic, and their presence alone impacted your mood. This is the invisible yet undeniable power of energy exchange. When your vibration is high, you naturally emit a frequency that others can feel. It's not something you have to try to do, it's simply who you are. Your energy speaks louder than your words, and it has the power to shift the energy of a room, a conversation, or even an entire group of people. This is why so many spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of inner work, because the more aligned and elevated you are, the more you contribute to the collective vibration of humanity. Let me ask you this: what kind of energy are you bringing into the world? Are you radiating love, peace, and joy? Or are you unconsciously amplifying fear, doubt, or negativity? This isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. The more intentional you become about your energy, the more you can consciously use it to inspire and uplift others. And here's the beautiful part: you don't need to preach, teach, or convince anyone of anything. Your presence alone becomes the message. One of the most powerful ways your vibrational growth impacts others is by creating what I call permission fields. When you live in alignment with your highest self, you give others permission to do the same. You don't have to tell them, they can feel it. Your embodiment of authenticity and truth becomes a silent invitation for others to step into their own power. It's as if your energy says, it's safe to be who you truly are. It's safe to shine. Think about moments in your own life when someone's courage, kindness, or authenticity inspired you to rise higher. Maybe it was a friend who pursued their dreams against all odds, showing you that it was possible for you too. Or perhaps it was someone who held space for you with such love and compassion that it allowed you to heal and grow. These moments remind us that we're all interconnected and that one person's light has the power to ignite countless others. Another way your vibrational growth transforms the world is through synchronicity. As your energy aligns with higher frequencies, you become a magnet for the right people, opportunities, and experiences. But it doesn't stop there. Your alignment also becomes a catalyst for synchronicity in the lives of others. Have you ever noticed how, when you're in a state of flow, the people around you seem to benefit too? It's as if your energy creates a ripple effect, drawing others into the same stream of alignment and possibility. This is not just coincidence, it's the natural result of living in harmony with the universal flow. But living as a beacon isn't always easy. There will be moments when your light triggers others. Your growth may highlight their fears, insecurities, or resistance to change. This is not your burden to carry, but it is your opportunity to hold compassion. Remember, not everyone is ready to rise, and that's okay. Your role is not to force anyone to grow. It's simply to be a living example of what's possible. Trust that your energy will plant seeds, even if you never see them bloom. James T. And let's not forget one of the most life-changing aspects of vibrational growth, the way it transforms your relationships. As your vibration rises, you'll notice that your connections with others become deeper, more authentic, and more fulfilling. You'll attract people who resonate with your energy and who support your growth. At the same time, you may find certain relationships falling away, not out of conflict, but because they no longer align with your frequency. This can be bittersweet, but it's a natural part of the process. Trust that every shift in your relationships is making space for something greater. And of course, nothing is forever, so don't give up. So let me leave you with this question. What would happen if you fully embraced your role as a beacon of light? How would your relationships, your work, and your life change if you lived from the knowing that your energy has the power to transform the world? The truth is, you don't need to wait until you're perfect or fully enlightened to start making an impact. Your journey, as imperfect and messy as it may feel, is already inspiring others. Your light, simply by existing, is already making a difference. And the more you step into this truth, the more you'll realize that your vibrational growth isn't just about you, it's about the collective awakening of all of us. Took